Ranking all 24 Fall Guys minigames? Let's do this. Coming in at dead last is Perfect Match. This game is way too easy and honestly not as fun as the other ones. About 2 or 3 people get eliminated every single time this game shows up in rotation, which leads to more chaotic final rounds. Coming in at number 23 is Team Tail Tag. This game has a couple of strikes against it, one being a team game and one being a tail game. The tail grab mechanic is funky in that sometimes you'll be grabbing tails 3 feet across the map, and others you'll be grabbing onto them but you'll never get the tail. Not to mention it's a team game where you feel like you have less control over winning yourself. Number 22 is Regular Tail Tag. This has a lot of issues that regular Team Tail Tag has, except you can't blame your teammates if you lose. Same broken tail mechanic though. Number 21 is Egg Scramble. This might be a hot take, but I hate when this game pops up in rotation. Whatever 2 teams have the most eggs at the beginning will win, essentially, because they'll just bully the other team. Hard for the team in last to have a fighting chance. Part 2 will be released tomorrow. Ranking all 24 Fall Guys minigames, Part 2. Number 20 is Royal Fumble. Have you noticed a pattern yet with my list? Have you realized that tail games are not fun? Easily the worst final round game, and honestly a disappointment working all the way to get to the final round just to play this. Here's a quick clip from Reddit of how broken this is. Look at that! Number 19 is Hoarders. This minigame has all the problems that half the team games in this game have. It really doesn't matter how well you are doing as an individual, it all boils down to luck and how many balls are somehow kicked into your zone versus others. Plus, half your teammates don't know what the heck they're doing anyways and being useless. Number 18 is Fall Ball. Now, I actually like the premise of Fall Ball. My main issue from Fall Ball doesn't actually come from the gameplay, I actually find it quite fun. My main issue with Fall Ball is that this game spawns when there's around 8 to 12 people left in the lobby, which is enough for a final round anyways. So this game just serves as a final pointless luck check before the final round. Part 3 will be released tomorrow. Ranking all 24 Fall Guys minigames, Part 3. Number 17 is Tiptoe. This game can be super frustrating at times, especially when this is a round 4 game and you get eliminated because someone pushed you right before the final round. In the beginning of this game, everybody just randomly flees themselves into the abyss hoping to see if they get the right tile. Then once the course is around 70% complete, everybody huddles all together and the game turns into let's shove this person into an unmarked square and see what happens. Super frustrating when you're the one shoved off. Number 16 is Rock and Roll. The premise of this game is cool where you have to work together with your teammates to push the giant ball down the ramp as quickly as possible. My main issue is that once the ball gets over that main hump, all it takes is one person from the other team to stop the ball, even though you got multiple teammates on you pushing forward. Kinda OP. Number 15 is Block Party. This game would be more fun and challenging if walls and blocks were coming from both sides of the map. Pretty much the only way you get eliminated is if somebody trips in front of you and trips you, and then you just fall with them. Stay tuned for Part 4. Ranking all 24 Fall Guys minigames, Part 4. Number 14 is Rollout. This game would be higher on my list if it were more challenging. The strategy here is pretty simple. As long as you walk between 2 different rotating parts at the end of the cylinder, you will be fine and qualify very easily. Number 13 is Fruit Shoot. I really don't have much to say here about Fruit Shoot. It's pretty average if you ask me. It's not the worst game and it's not the best game. It's just okay. Number 12 is Fall Mountain. Fall Mountain is an okay race as well. This final round game is quite challenging as it really does demand perfection in order to win. If you fall over or make one mistake, your chances of winning are really slim. The main issue I see with this one is that if 2 different people run a perfect race and one spawns in the back and one's in the front, the person in the back is shit out of luck. Number 11 is Hit Parade. Hit Parade is one of the more boring races because the obstacles really don't interfere with your run at all. Don't get me wrong, I like this race, but it's just not as exciting as others. Part 5 will be released tomorrow. Ranking all 24 Fall Guys minigames, Part 5. Number 10 is Seesaw. A lot of you might be surprised why I have Seesaw so high. Despite it being frustrating a lot of the time, I find it very fun. Yes, it gets annoying when there's a million people dogpiling on one side of the seesaw and it's never going up, but I still find this game fun despite that. Also, it can be annoying if you finish top 10 because then you're going to be waiting 2 minutes for everyone else to finish. Number 9 is DoorDash. This is another fun race as well. You're taking a big risk if you lead the charge and then run into a door that doesn't work because you can be stuck in the dog pile and you'll be trampled over for quite some time. Lead the pack at your own risk. Number 8 is Jinxed. I enjoy this team game. It reminds me a lot of the Infected mode from Call of Duty. If you're not Jinxed, you try to avoid it as much as possible, and if you are Jinxed, then you try to jinx the other team. There is some strategy in this though. Sometimes I like to get jinxed on purpose because I'm good at jinxing other players. Strats like that make me feel like I can make a difference for my team. Part 6 will be released in a few hours. Ranking all 24 Fall Guys minigames, Part 6. Number 7 is Hoopsie Daisy. Hoopsie Daisy is my favorite team game by far. This game is super fun as soon as you get good at jumping through the hoop. It's super satisfying seeing an opponent run into the hoop but never through it, but then you swoop in and steal it from them. You can just go on a frickin' bender jumping through hoops and it's super satisfying and fun. Number 6 is Jump Club. Jump Club is all about timing as well, as you gotta pay attention to the top beam and jump over the bottom beam. Fun and challenging as you gotta get the timing down right and try to steer clear of the other players. Number 5 is Gate Crash. I love Gate Crash because it's a fun race and super spread out, so if you lose, you really got no one to blame but yourself. The final jump was kinda challenging at first, but as soon as you get the timing right, it's not too bad. Number 4 is Dizzy Heights. Sometimes simplicity is beautiful. This race is not challenging by any means, but it's so fun. It's a free qualifier and it's fun to just turn your brain off and enjoy the race. Stay tuned for the final part tomorrow. Ranking all 24 Fall Guys minigames, the finale. Number 3 is the Whirligig. This is my favorite race in the game. It's a long race, it's fun, and it's somewhat challenging. In the beginning, you can risk getting flung by the little spinners right over here, along with the middle fan at the end of the race to see if you can take the shortcut. Just a really great race overall, and I hope they add more like this in the future. Number 2 is Slime Climb. I know this is technically a race, but it really should be called a survival game, because this is truly my favorite race. All the other races in the game can be somewhat challenging or not challenging at all, and then there's this one where it wipes out 75% of the lobby every single time it comes up. If you want to finish in the top 10 to 12 in this map, all you have to do is beat it. I mean, the map will kill everybody else. And the number 1 minigame in Fall Guys is Hexagon. Lots of strategy, challenging, you gotta map out where you're gonna jump, all the layers below where you're gonna go, what other players are doing, it's just so great. Just a great finale to a long game. Thank you all for watching this series. Here is the ultimate strategy guide to qualify in all 25 Fall Guys minigames. Let's start off with the races with Tiptoe. For this one, you want the other players to do the work for you. You want to stick around in the middle of the pack as much as possible, as people start to figure out what tiles are the right ones towards the end. Try to stick away from the pack as much as possible and let others push each other off. Pay big attention to how many people are qualifying though, because you want to make sure you are within that number by the time you jump over that finish line. The main strategy in Gate Crash is to rush towards a gate that's already closed. When you're rushing towards a gate that's already closed, it will already be open by the time you get there. As for the ending, jump towards the gate that's already at the top when you're at the top of the hill. That will allow for the gate to close by the time you jump over and reach the finish line. For Whirligig, it can be tempting to let these purple spinners fling you across the map, but in reality, it's smarter to just jump over them. The middle fan can be tempting, but if you want to guarantee qualify, just go on the outside. Part 2 of the guide will be out tomorrow. Ultimate Fall Guys Strategy Guide, Part 2. Seesaw is all about patience. Never jump on a seesaw that's vertical like this. You always want to wait until it starts leaning forward like this and then make your jump. Yes, it can be tempting to just jump forward and try to complete it as quickly as possible, but trust me, you'll only frustrate yourself even more. With that being said, also make sure what the other players are doing and make sure to do the opposite of what they're doing to help balance out the seesaw in your favor. For the beginning of Dizzy Heights, make sure you're running along the spinning tiles instead of jumping because it actually slows you down. Learn the timing of dodging the balls just on the outside so you can get out of the way. For the third part of the race, make sure to go on the right side since the last spinning thing over here is spinning counterclockwise, which makes it quicker for you to finish. For Fruit Chute, it's important to stay away from the middle of the belt because that's where the most people are. Either stick to the left center side or right center side of the belt and use the pink pyramids right over here for cover whenever a fruit is coming by you, and you'll be fine. Stay tuned for part 3. Ultimate Fall Guys Strategy Guide, Part 3. The rollout strategy is quite simple, even though I see quite a few people get eliminated from this game every single time I play it. Stick to one side of the map and only alternate between the two end parts, like the purple and blue one right here. Walk and do not jump because jumping will just set you up for disaster. The DoorDash strategy is very similar to the Tiptoe one. Let others do the work for you and you just follow along. If you lead the pack and choose the wrong door and you get caught up in the dog pile, there's a great chance that you won't qualify. For Block Party, I would recommend sticking to the front end of the platform. Sticking to the front of the platform allows you to stay away from people as much as possible, which is crucial for the jumping parts of this game. If you get tripped over when you're in the front, you're giving yourself enough time to get back up in the back and you're still in the game. For Perfect Match, well, let's be honest, this one's not very hard. If you decide to pay attention and want to use a risque strategy, run over to a wrong tile and jump at the last second to see if you can trick people to fall off that aren't paying attention. Stay tuned for part 4.